the high of this upside reversal, this inside bar line up pretty close together. So that would be the new pivot point, and you're off to the races here. Let's see one more example. We're in a consolidation here. This is the point where you get on your screens, RMV equals 0. This is the inside bar. So I'd basically put my pivot point right at that high. It's a little bit lower than this high, which is the other part of the range. And just again, from inside bars, I typically draw the pivot at the inside bar or the upside reversal because I like those priming setups. So that's a few examples of actually drawing the pivots. And here's a few of the ranges we just talked about. Here again, we set up, I wouldn't draw it at this wick, I draw it at this high. And that would give you a good buy point to add, and this continued on and trended really nicely. I do want to mention that this doesn't just work for to the long side, but to the short side as well. It works extremely well. Again, all markets oscillate between expansion and contraction. That's the element of market structure that RMV is helping identify. And expansion definitely happens to the downside as well, especially during corrections. And here we've got ARM. Again, we've got a base that moved up. It wasn't able to really push higher. It's forming a base. You've got some lower highs. It's very tight, maybe too tight for too long. It tried to break out, couldn't. So there's some sign of potential distribution in here, downside reversals. And overall, I think the market was weakening here. And you can see the base high, all these base lows here actually lining up pretty close together. And what do we have on the right-hand side of that? We have a tight 2-day range with RMV getting close to 0. Where would you draw your pivot here? You draw it instead of at the highs, you draw it at the lows. So these lows line up extremely close together. That would be your shorting point. And from there, you got quick expansion down in just a matter of days from this setup. So RMV can work really well to the downside as well. I do want to emphasize, not all RMV tight signals are created equal. Context and details matter. Again, we're looking for the top half, the 2/3 of the base, first 21 EM pullback, high momentum names, first pullback for the 10 EMA, low volume on the pullback, shakeout, and upside reversal or other priming setups to set up the breakout. And we want it to be part of a larger theme and catalyst, and ideally be a fast mover recent IPO. You can see I've repeated this slide 3 times because it's really important. Context and details matter extreme amount, and the tighter the range, the better. A tight inside day, right? The right of the range, that makes the setup that much better, that much more explosive. So all these details are really important, and as you gain more familiarity with trading VCPs and all that, you'll start to pick up on these details that can really make the difference. All right, so let's get into more detail about how to trade in these tight areas. So say we've identified it, you've drawn the pivot point, how do you actually trade it? Okay, so there's 3 steps for trading VCPs. First, screening and ideation. You have to actually get the name on your radar and notice that's forming a tight area. And you can use DeFi presets, RMV to do that.